Good morning, Bill. Good morning. What? Hey! Why do I have to yell your name every time I see it? What? Hey! I don't know why. Can't you just be, hey, Waz? Why can't it just be a mellow, like, good morning, Waz? No. It's got to be, Wazzy! Wazzy! Good morning, Waz. Good morning, free and exception and shiny. I know, Oz. It's like I'm pulling by in a pickup truck. Wazzy! Leave that man alone, they told me. Good morning, Bill and Waz and Trent and Kim. Hey, Kim, did anybody tell you you have pretty eyes? Nipper Mama, Billy. Billy's all over the game. Good morning. Deborah, did anybody tell you you're wonderful? When was the last time somebody told you how wonderful you are? Can I be the first one today? You're wonderful. Kimberly, get out of here. Don't try flirting now. Don't try flirting with those eyes. It's not going to work. Well, it might work. Maybe that's why I don't want you to do it. Good morning, nerdy. Nerdy, I can see your smile from here. Good morning. There's a Joe. 5280. All day. Don't get in the way. All day. Justin's okay. B. Hendricks. I wonder if he's a left-handed guitar player. Seismex. He's out. Penny Pack. Penny, somebody sent me a video of you in a choir. Did you know that? I have a video of Penny in a choir doing her thing. Did Ted send that to me, Penny? Who sent that to me? Somebody snuck into your church? Somebody snuck into your church and took a video of you. Yep. The video. It wasn't Ted, you sure? Ask him again. This looks like something Ted would do to set you up. Okay? Ted's getting back at you for telling us about his OCD. Okay? Which, by the way, we all have a few until we break our old agreements. Then we start new ones. My 4 agreements, I'm not allowed OCDs in there. He's lucky. Technically challenged, huh? Who wants to see Penny in the choir? Who wants to see Penny in the choir? I need 41 people here. I think I'm asking for 10 people to say, can I see Penny in the choir? Niffer, for a minute, I thought it was you. I'm not kidding you. For a minute, I thought it was you. Then I thought, maybe it's Sarah. Maybe this is Sarah. And then the closer I looked, I'm like, that's Penny. That is Penny. If I've ever seen Penny in the choir, this is it. Okay? Audrey wants to see Penny in the choir. Audrey, good morning. Maybe it's Audrey. It's a pulverizer. Wait till you see what Penny does in the choir. You guys. Oh, good morning, Calico. Who else wants to see Penny? I've only seen 8 people say so far. I need 2 more. Give me 2 more. Penny, your voice is fine. Wait till you see Penny in the choir. 2 more people. There's Pacers. Give me 1 more. Shiny. Okay, here we go. Penny in the choir. You already know which one Penny is, okay? Oh my God. All right, here we go. Penny in the choir. I honestly, for a while, I thought it was, I wasn't sure. I thought it might be Sarah because she was freaking me out. And then, and then I was like, wait a minute. Is that Nipper? Is this Nipper Mama? Like in disguise? But the closer, I mean, the more I looked, I just gotta believe this is Penny. Get it, Penny. Go get him, Penny. Get him, Penny. Oh. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. Deborah, you know that's Penny. That does look like Penny. I'm not kidding you. Penny, you're very attractive. This lady looks more like Carol Burnett. I was looking at this lady, go, that's Carol Burnett. Oh, no, it's Penny. Macrodose? Billy D, you think she was on a macrodose, that lady? She was enjoying the hell out of that song. Who's Penny? Audrey Penny's like our mom here. She's when you meet her at the Mush Fest, Audrey, sweetest girl. She's so nice. She's I'm Penny. She's just a doll, and she puts up. I tease her more than any other girl here because she can take it. The little pulverizer. Okay, that little pulverizer can take it. So Audrey, Penny's our good friend here that allows me to make a lot of fun of her. Okay? Someone else I might have called, said it was them, and I'd have hurt their feelings. Okay? I'm not hurting. I'm not. Penny knows I'm not into hurting feelings. I just use her or me as an example for everything funny. Good morning, Anarchy, with 7 Ys. Good morning. You're so into anarchy, you won't even spell it correctly. You're not even going to give them the satisfaction of spelling it correctly. That's a good one. That's a good anarchist. Good morning, everybody. Are you guys having a beautiful morning this morning? Good, you guys. Good night. I should probs sleep. Audrey, don't go. Right, nerdy? That's a true anarchist. They're not even spelling it correctly. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Penny, thank you, sweetie. I know it means you like me. Penny, I don't just like you, I love you. How can they tell, when you're acting or something like that or whatever, you're getting ready to go on stage? It always bothered me that we would tell the person that's going out there, thank you, Penny, that we would tell the person that's going out onto the stage to break a leg. What are you talking? It's 4 a.m. there, Audrey? Okay, you should be in bed. Get to bed. What are you doing? Where could you be at 4 a.m.? Where are you, in Hawaii? Where are you, in Hawaii or something? Weird, my tea is so good, but it's regular tea. I did one microdose capsule about 2 hours ago when I first got up. I did my studying for today, prepared the show, and here I am. Breaking a leg. Seems like a really bad thing to tell somebody to, like, you're wishing them good luck, but you're telling them, Jesus Christ, you stay out of Audrey's bedroom. So you break a leg. Why would I tell an actor or an actress to break a leg? Grace is new here. Grace Mouse loves kitties. I need everybody to say good morning to Grace. You know, that's such a pretty name, Grace. It's also a wonderful thing to receive and to give, both. Okay, breaking a leg. Why are we breaking legs? You know what? It's really basic. Break a leg back in the day used to mean you would take a bow. As you would drop down to sort of a knee, sort of a curtsy, whatever, you're breaking the leg. So what you're telling the actor or actress is at the end of your show, make sure you take a bow. You're going to do so great, they're going to want you to take a bow. I like that a whole lot more than telling the guy I'm going to kneecap you. I like that a whole lot more than if you tell the guy, do a good job, they're going to kneecap you out there. Okay? How about that one? You guys just learned something new here this morning. Because that's what we believe in. We believe in entertaining. Because when you entertain, your brain is more aware and open for goodness. When you're in a laughing, good mood, you'll receive more goodness. So we want to entertain. We want to educate. And then we want to foster communication among the community, grow a community. Audrey lives in the United States. Okay, she's got to be in Hawaii then. If it's 4 o'clock in the morning, that's Hawaii-ish. Ish. Somewhere between here and Hawaii. Audrey, excuse me. I'm coming down with a cold here, you guys. So hang in here with me this week. I literally have Tommaso! Tommaso's here. What a neat name. I like the name Tommaso Mancini. That's a neat name. Papa John tried breaking a leg at the end of a marching band. Didn't work out so well. Okay? Dave, I'm not a smoker. Sorry about that. I might puff a little weed every once in a while, but I'm not a smoker. No, not a big timer. Anybody that knows me knows I don't really even hang out at the Snoop table very much. Nope. I'm just getting older. Stuff happens faster, easier. I actually had to tell Brock, be on standby today, because if I don't feel good about halfway through the show, I'm bailing on those guys. I'm out. I don't care how. I don't care. No, I didn't tell him I don't care. I just said, stand by. Herbie never smoked cigarettes. I never did. Used to just creep me out at home. My parents were the biggest smokers, but everybody was back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Used to, the worst thing in the world, 3 packs a day, each of them. Each of them. They do a carton in like 2 days, a carton of cigarettes. And I hated the chore. Thank you, Grace. I hated the chore of having to clean up the ashtray. You'd go over to that ashtray and it had so much stuff in it, and you didn't do any of it. You didn't put one bit of it there. I'm not kidding you, RX. There was so much smoke, and I can't even imagine if I went back now, I would probably take a credit card and you could scrape the nicotine off of the walls in my house. Yeah. You know, we used to push each other. We're 6 kids. It's your turn to do the ashtray. No, it's your turn. Your turn. No, it's your turn. Your turn. We used to fight each other for not cleaning the ashtray. Ugh. Saul, I'm very, very glad you quit. Kim, I can't even picture you smoking. You're so cute. Little Kim smoking? No, they don't go together. Kim and cigarettes don't go well. Herbie's like, that's why wood paneling was so popular. It faded in the nicotine. Good one. That's a good one. Brandon Kelly quit. Congratulations, Brandon. Dave, $40 pack for 20 cigarettes. And $40 for a pack of 20 cigarettes? What? $40 for a pack? Might as well just do shrooms. Okay? Oh, I know, Kat, that color. That color. Oh, how about this? When somebody sends you a present. How about this? When somebody sends you a present and you open up the box, woof, you just got nailed with nicotine. They're re-gifting something that's been sitting on a shelf for the last couple of years, some knick-knack. They wrap it up nice and everything, stick it in a box and send it to you. You know darn good and well it's a re-gift if it's smelling like nicotine. Okay, let's change the subject. This is a creepy subject. Anybody ever had that? It happened to me here a few months ago. Okay, thank you, Jesus. It happened a few months ago. I'm not kidding you, Nerdy. Nerdy goes around smelling the stuff at the thrift store. I'm not kidding you, it happened. I opened up a box and I just got whiffed with this nicotine. I'm like, I don't think I want to, I'm not sure I want what's in here. It was nice though. It was thoughtful of them and everything else, but there was certainly a lot of nicotine going around that house. Lots. Nothing lives on glaciers. Nothing. If you're glaciers, no, nothing lives on them. Right, Streety? Streety, am I right or wrong? Think of the glaciers you know. Think of the glaciers you know. Is there anything living on them? I'm asking Streety. How about it? Streets? What's going on the glaciers? Mike Wallen thinks that's false. Streety's going to set us straight. There's got to be bacteria on them or something, Pops. Nothing lives on glaciers is a complete myth. It's a myth. Glaciers are a rich biological hotspot. I like that. A rich biological hotspot. My grow house. Somebody said, where am I? I'm in Detroit. My grow house is a rich biological hotspot. However, there's the big difference is glaciers are actually very dusty. Not so much in the grow house. The grow house, we very climate controlled. I'm almost getting ready to go to hazmat suits, but our contam rate is so reasonable that I don't think we have to do hazmat suits. But glaciers are a rich biological hotspot. Since they're very dusty places, the dust bonds together and it creates a rich and varied microbial life. Thanks, Streety, Mr. Microbes. There is a particular microbe that's a mixture of dust and rocks and microbes. It's called cryoconite. Cryoconite. Glaciers are filled with cryoconite. Glaciers are white. Right? I remember we did an Alaskan tour. It's been about 15 years now. One of the things the big old tour boat stops, but then they'll give you little tours, little boats come alongside, and you pay an extra 15 or 20 bucks. And then they take you off through, and you get to go get up really close to the glaciers. This was in Alaska. One of the most phenomenal sights in nature. And then when a portion of the glacier would fall off into the ocean, They call that calving. Like a cow has a calf. A glacier has a calf. It's kind of weird, huh? Why is a glacier a female cow? Why would we call a glacier a female cow and its little piece a baby? But that is what happens. And you can get pretty close up. It's not caving, Billy, it's calving. They actually calve, right? But when you get up, when you see them, it might be 2Vs. Yeah. So here we are. Is a glacier white? No. Glaciers come in many, many different colors. They come in white. They come in blue. That's what I thought, Kim. I thought that was the correct way to spell it. They come in white. They come in blue. They come in gray. They come in red. They come in green. They even come in black. Now, that would be a crazy sight. A black glacier. Aren't glaciers just supposed to be white? Black glacier. Glacier ice is often blue, but when snow falls on it, that's when it tends to look like a white glacier. We're actually seeing the snow. Okay. So cell phones. One of the places you never want to use a cell phone because of their radiation and just, we still don't know quite what's going on. Cell phones are very, very dangerous to use in a hospital. Did you know that? Cell phones. Cell phones are dangerous everywhere. Shadari, he's from India. Hello. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Cell phones in hospitals, very dangerous. Knock it off. Knock it off. Don't tell lies around here, Pops. A recent study done in 75 treatment rooms did 300 tests to see if there was interference between cell phones and hospital equipment, and they found no evidence to support the claim. None. Sorry, cell phone away. Sell it up. You know the North Star? You always know which one the North Star is because it's the brightest star in the sky, right? You're always looking around, you go, okay, that one for sure, that's the North Star. How do you know? Because it's the brightest one. That's Polaris. Polaris, also known as the North Star, is not the brightest star. Sorry about that. The brightest star in the sky, apart from the sun. See, that was the trick. Actually, the brightest star in our sky would be the sun, right? I'm still not sure if the sun is a star. Why does it get to be a star? Why are we orbiting a star? The brightest star in the sky, aside from the sun, is Sirius. It's Sirius. 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 And it's located in the Canis Major constellation. Canis Major. Canis. Anybody, what's the Canis Major? What's it look like? This was on Jeopardy the other day. Canis Major and the Canis Minor. Michael, you're so smart. It's the dog star, right? Canis. Canine. It's the one that looks like a dog. You'll never forget it now that we said Canis, canine. Most of you are going, oh, yeah. That's right. That makes a lot of sense. I'm going to do a couple more, and then we're going to go start learning how to grow mushrooms together. Organic food. Organic food. When in organic food production does not use pesticides. Organic food production does not use pesticides. That whole organic thing, you never look. Organic's kind of they're kind of faking us out a little bit. Cost me $1 more per tomato because it's organic. And they didn't teach me what organic really meant. Terry Newman's, you're all over it. Terry's like the pops. Don't forget about the organic pesticides. Organic. I don't even think I buy organic anymore because I think it's half a sham. I think. I don't know that much about it. So I'm not telling you. I'm just, organic production can use natural pesticides, Terry Newman, which include mineral salts and pesticides from plant-based materials. I feel like they're ripping me off. I feel like that fertilizer came from mineral salts and... Stop organicing me and just give me a tomato. And I'm not making fun of it or anything like that because at the end of the day, I'm sure there's some really impeccable organic farms out there. I'm just going to do organic in my basement. Okay, my grow house is organic. I don't use any pesticides whatsoever. Okay. In the United States, this is one thing I didn't know. Don't organic me, bro. All right, free. I love me some free. In the United States, how about this one? More than half of all the farms are large corporate farms now. Used to be small farmers. In the United States, more than half of the farms. Neem is considered organic, is that right, Terry? Terry knows all about growing weed. Neem is one of those sprays we use to keep the pests off of our weed plants. More than half of all the farms are large corporate farms. That's not true. I've thought, yep, they're taking over. They're, according to the Agriculture Council of America and a census, 94% of farms in the United States are operated by individuals or family corporations. Yes. Just when I thought Monsanto was taking over the world, 94% of our farms are still family-owned or family corporation-owned. And what a family corporation means. Where are we going with that? Is Nabisco a family corporation? I'm glad to hear that number. That's a good number. That sounds better than I thought it would be. Hugely large farmed. Okay? Oh, I agree with you, Nerdy. What Nerdy's saying, yeah, but when you add up the actual acreage, right? Mushroom growing time. Mushrooms are super easy to grow. First thing you need to do if you're going to grow mushrooms, first thing you want to do is just research a little bit. Find a support group too, and find a particular person or persons that will work with you to walk you through the first 1 or 2 times you do it, and you'll find it is actually not that hard to do. It's simple. I should put it that way. It's simple, but you learn so much in the process. And I personally, when I started growing mushrooms full time, I grew mushrooms back when I was 18 years old for one little spurt of a time, and I was going to be the drug dealer of the San Fernando Valley, which I was for a minute. And then I didn't do anything. And the whole way to grow mushrooms just massively advanced. And then about 4.5 years ago, I landed here in Detroit and had a basement. It's the first time in my life I had a basement in my house. And because I was, mostly lived in California most of my life, except when I was on the road. And I always wanted a basement. So now I have this big, beautiful basement, and I don't know what to do with it, but I don't want to just fill it up with a bunch of old furniture. Okay? So why don't I start a little, I think I saw something on a YouTube or something, mushroom growing. And I'm like, that looks fascinating. But I didn't really understand I didn't even know what was going on in the psilocybin, hallucinogenic, psychedelic, mental health. I didn't, completely blank to most of this, other than just hearing stuff. And also was like, if this is a highly illegal thing that we're thinking about doing. And it used to piss me off when I was about 4.5 years ago. It pissed me off. I was like, I own my house. I own it outright. I don't even pay a bank. It's not like the bank owes it and I pay them. I own this place. What do you mean? I can't grow fungus in my own house for my own personal use. Who do you guys think you are to run my life like that? So when I originally started, I was being a revolutionary. It was my rebel spirit. I was like, I'm not going to let you tell me what I can do in my own house. I'm doing it. And I almost did it like anarchist here. I almost did it as a reason to revolt. This is my little silent revolt against the man. And I can do it in my basement if I want to. But how dare me, right, Herbie? And that was my original attitude. I'm not joking. And I started watching stuff on YouTube that would maybe, learn some stuff. The bro science that's out there. And it used to piss me off too. Another thing that would piss me off. I'm like, if we're going to do this illegal thing, which is ridiculous that it's illegal. So stupid that this is illegal. Let me fight the illegal out. Now I start finding colleagues in the area that are working on decriminalizing, working on changing the laws in Michigan. Michigan was so forward, I had no idea how forward it was when I got here. And I just landed in the most perfect spot. Okay? So I'm here and I'm going to start. And then I'm watching the guys on TV, on the YouTubes. And they're teaching us how to grow mushrooms, but they're wearing masks. That used to piss me off. See, I was easy pissed off. I don't get pissed off like this anymore because I'm growing mushrooms now. But before I was growing mushrooms, it would piss me off. Don't tell me what to do in my basement. And if you're going to teach me how to do mushrooms, don't do it with a mask. Because you're adding to it. You're not helping me legalize it. You're keeping the stigma of it being something that we should do in hidden areas. You're keeping the stigma alive as you teach this. I don't want to keep that stigma alive. I want to not have to do it in my basement. I want to be able to do it on Main Street in Ferndale in my own shop. And I want the laws to say I can do that. And I will never get there if I'm hiding in my basement wearing a mask. It's not going to happen. So that's where I was 4 years ago. Then the old teacher part of me kicks in. Then the old, you are a changing person. Within the first 18 months, I'm experimenting everything. This is the greatest thing I've ever done. I'm obsessed. I've got to try every substrate. I got to try every strain. I've got to learn. I set up a laboratory in my basement. Pretty nice little laboratory. For cheap. I would hunt and peck and go out and find somewhere a used aluminum tables. It looks like the high-end Do it. That was half the fun. Setting up laboratories and then I'd start, you know what I started doing? You guys remember this 3 years ago. I started having classes in the basement. I was so into it, so wanting other people to learn. I started inviting them, come on over to my house. Come on over. Come to my basement. You can come in my laboratory. I'm going to teach you. You can go home with 2 monotubs. And people would come to my house and they would leave with monotubs. And I was doing this indiscriminately, just like passionately, without really paying a whole lot of attention. Do you remember that, Free? And then exceptions, that's right. Someone came along and made an bold, ridiculous accusation because I wasn't thinking and I didn't put it together that, hey, maybe someone will accuse me of something. I'm just on the high of trying to sell give away all this knowledge, give away everything free. It's all, come on, man, let's grow mushrooms and don't wear a mask and go teach someone in your neighborhood and pretty soon. And then someone came along and made an accusation about me saying and doing something to them. So untrue, because that is not me, and it never was, never would be. But the more you deny things, the more people believe that it's true. So an emotional poison thing started, and I'm like, you know what, from now on, I have to actually film. I have to have a camera in the laboratory and in my house, filming I have to have somebody, they have to sign a paper before they come in the house, right? And agree that they know that they're being taped. All of this crazy stuff. This is how I'm going to have to teach mushrooms out of my own house. I wasn't willing to do that. Just to protect myself, because my reputation was already sullied. This one person complaint, this one person who was an absolute liar from hell, I was literally giving this person a gift when they came over. Free here. And they left and started this crazy ass story. Schism started. Yeah, I knew that guy was like that. Did you hear? I heard that he did it to 3 more. Next thing you know, it was up to 5 people that I had violated at my house. It went from one phony baloney story to now it's 5 people. Gossip. Poison, emotional poison. And there was a group of people, we were doing wonderful work. And about half of them believed it. Not even half, a few. It started a schism. Those people are turned into pop haters. Yep, I knew it. I knew there was something about that guy. Yep, you could tell. You could just see it. Nobody does that stuff for free. And I was ready to quit. Ask exception. I was ready to quit. I'm not doing this anymore. I've been giving this stuff away out of the goodness and sweetness of my heart. I'm trying to grow a community, and this is how they're going to treat me. We find out in the book of the 4 Agreements, I was taking it personal. The more you take things personal, the more you're going to get it. And that's when I resolved in my heart, I don't care. You know what's going to prove, because I can't prove a negative. What's going to prove it is I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to keep showing up every day. No shame. I'm not going to play into that gossip. I'm not going to play into that. And I'm just going to keep moving forward, being the best pops I can be. I'm not going to stop helping people. I'm not going to stop giving stuff away. I'm not going to stop serving just because my feelings were hurt or because people are gossiping about me. That's their issue. And that was the biggest breakthrough I ever had in my whole life. was to not quit at that time. It was the biggest, because I was, ask exception, ask a couple of other people, I was this close. You guys didn't deserve me. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine my brain being not quite healthy enough that I was still thinking you don't deserve me? And I'm telling you all of this story to tell you that mushrooms changed my life. Growing them, going through things that you'll go through as you grow, are going to grow you. And I look back 4.5 years ago, I'm not even close to the same person. I was that angry. I'm doing this at the world, at the government. You can't tell me what to do. Don't wear a mask. I'm in charge. I know. I'm the judge. You're doing it wrong. All of that to today. And I think I'll be even more kind in a year because I keep practicing. Today, I don't have any of those feelings. I don't. Today, the legalities are going to be working themselves out. I've made my commitment. I've put my money where my mouth is. I've stand up. I'm willing to take the risk and pay the cost. And I don't need to talk about it or brag about it. That's just me. I don't need to tell you, don't wear a mask, do it like I do it. I've grown. And it's because I'm growing mushrooms. And why growing mushrooms, Pops? Because my biggest lack was patience. I have no patience for anything or people. If you don't believe like I believe, I don't have patience for you. And I'm telling you, growing mushrooms, the biggest thing that I learned, the thing that it changed in my personality. I couldn't believe I'm a 60-year-old man and my personality is going to morph. It's going to change. When I was first starting to grow mushrooms, everything was impatient. I'd have to go check my bags, my jars, 4 to 5 times a day. Pick it up, shake it, look at it. How come I don't see enough mycelial growth? This isn't going fast enough. I thought it was going to be better in 10 days. That's how you start out when you're first a mushroom grower and you have no patience. Okay? I can't tell you how many bags I shook and broke the mycelial network up. I can't tell you how many things I did wrong in the beginning, but it was because of a lack of patience. I want to see results now. It was one of the reasons I changed. We started growing weed here. Weed takes 6 months to get a crop. 3 months indoor, 6 months outdoor. I don't have 6 months to wait. What? Mushrooms? I can have a crop in 45 days? 45 days! Oh, yeah! And in 45 days, how come it's only... I want it to be like 20. So that was one of the reasons to even go to mushrooms. I can do it faster. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm sorry, we'll start talking about the actual step 1s and step 2s starting tomorrow. I think I'm trying to still sell my beginners here. Please try to grow mushrooms. Please. Please work on growing mushrooms. Grow 1 or 2 batches. See what the process is like. And then if you get into it and you sell out, watch what happens. Watch what happens. You will change. Mushrooms have taught me more about myself. That's why it's crazy. I think mushrooms are one of those smartest living things. It's weird to say, but I really believe that now. Before I was like, don't tell me a mushroom's smart. That's just a dumb little piece of fungus. It's so much more. Oh my God, after it taught me how to grow it, after it taught me how to grow it, because I stopped being in charge and I started being a student. I really did. Let me listen. Let me slow down. The ancient ones. Let me pay attention. Just because you can't speak doesn't mean you aren't a teacher. Oh my God, I got goosebumps right now. Just because you can't speak doesn't mean you're not a teacher. Oh. So these fellas started teaching me, if you slow down, if you pay attention, if you treat us with kindness, if you give some of us away, we'll give you more of us. We'll get bigger. If you practice this and you clone me, I'll give you a bigger one of me. And they started teaching me stuff. And then, of course, I couldn't help it. I got to share what I'm being taught because of that inner nature that I have to teach. So that's why you guys are stuck with me now. Oh, you're stuck with me. Because the mushrooms taught me to continue to use that inner nature you have. I would be an empty vessel if I couldn't sit around and be a teacher. The clinical jacket has a lot of reasons, and we'll get into that one of these days. But probably the single biggest one is to remind me to always be antiseptic, in my approaches and in the things that I do, both in the lab and in life. I don't wear it around all the time, but it's very symbolic. So, tomorrow, yes, not a doctor, as you guys think, more in the theology vein. So tomorrow, I hope I hyped you guys up a little bit. I gave you a little bit of background about where I started a few years ago, my passion. When I started, once I knew about 18 months into my journey, I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I just want to teach and grow mushrooms, give everything away, just barely make enough money to break even, pay the bills, make it where it's not costing me an exorbitant amount of money. And if I can do that, if the lights can stay on at the grow house, the lease, all of the supplies paid for, I just want the rest of it's to give away. So tomorrow we'll start on step one. Step one. We're going to look at it from two different points of view. Pops wrote a small book, Growing Mushrooms in 10 Easy Stages. It's the easiest thing you've ever seen. If you've never grown mushrooms before, and all you ever had was this book sitting in the basement, you could grow mushrooms from this book. We're also going to look at it from the Radical Mycology book. Radical Mycology, much more involved, many more he does a lot more. I've simplified it, brought it down to some real basics, and we're going to look at the two of them in concert starting tomorrow. Let me just read you a foreword here. It's on Amazon. I invite you guys to go to Amazon and buy this. And all of the money that I make from these go to our nonprofit organization. And probably for the next few weeks or so, it'll go to the Red Cross. Okay? This small manual is meant to be a quick start guide on your myco journey. We will discuss and illustrate the basic things you need to start a monotub type grow, and the order we suggest you do things as you begin this amazing magical voyage of discovery. That was like my favorite line. As you begin this amazing magical voyage of discovery. Step-by-step instructions with hand-drawn illustrations will help you learn home cultivation easily. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start that. I thought I'd start it today, but I thought giving you a little bit of background today would be important too. Okay? So now we're up to the 4 agreements. Does that sound good to you guys? Give me 10 people, 5. Just give me 5. Give me 5 people, that say, Pops, let's start our myco journey tomorrow. Home cultivation made easy. Yes, doctor, you definitely want it to be a pretty clean. It doesn't have to be as sterile as most people make it sound. And as I was OCD at first. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Today we're going to get started on our second agreement. This is my favorite book of all time. Literally my favorite book. I used to have other favorite books, but this one's the one. Because my Myco journey brought me to this book. And when I started reading this book, I was already well on my way towards being more humble, more willing to be patient, more willing to be taught by a piece of fungus. Can you imagine an ego like I had actually submitting, actually admitting to the planet Earth, I think fungus is smarter than me? It's lived for eons. It's way out survived the human race. It'll be here way after we're gone. And there isn't a single mushroom that started a war with another mushroom. They just don't. They figure out how to survive. Sometimes they'll try to grow in the same thing and they just, oh, I'll live on this side, I'll live on. But they don't start wars. They don't shoot bombs at each other. They don't fake each other. They don't try to sell something to each other. They don't rip each other off. They're not out there worried about how they look. They could be the goofiest looking fella there is in the whole tub. They don't care. They just know they're going to do their job. So much smarter than humans. And it's really hard for my ego to say that because I have this human ego that wants to be the smartest guy in the room. Used to. Now I'll you know what? I am dumber. No, that's wrong. Mushrooms are smarter than I am. That's right, Sarah. Mushrooms are smarter than I am. When you can reach that level of humility, it's time you're open to some new agreements. Put blessed no stress on a timeout, please. Absolutely unnecessary to come in here and talk to us like that. Okay, I love you. I hope you stick around after your timeout. But don't come in here and we're here for a different reason. The second agreement. Don't take anything personally. Anybody do that? Does anybody take stuff personal still? Yeah, I do. My take personal lasts about a minute now. And I realize I'm doing it. I'm like, God, you're taking it personal. Here's another one that we do around my house now, Brock and I. You know what we do? We look at each other. If they're in the middle of a bitch sesh or whatever, he goes, hey, are you taking it personal? And you're like, it's kind of a, thanks, I needed that. Because when I take things personal, well, let's do this just a little bit. The next three agreements are really born from the first agreement, to be impeccable with our word. The second agreement is don't take things personal. Anything. Whoo, that's a big category. I can take everything. I'm good at not taking anything personal, except if it's coming from my wife. Now, if my wife says it, I'm taking it personal. We do that. We're able to not take personal some stuff from some people, but if it's coming from, then I'm taking it personal. The agreement is anything. The agreement is don't take anything personal. Woo! Work on it. It's practice. Because anything's a very big category. And if the agreement says don't take anything, then I'm going to go with anything. I'm going to work on anything. I'm not going to hold on to one little sliver of, but this I can take personal. If you make fun of how I grow mushrooms, I could take that personal. I'm not allowed to take anything personal if I'm practicing the 4 agreements. B. Hendricks, anything's a big category. And it's really not very big at all. It's actually very, very small. Because we look at that, go, oh, that's way too big a category for me. Watch how small the category really is. And that category gets smaller and smaller the more we practice. You start feeling, I'm taking it personal, coming on. Like a fever. It's like, you start feeling them coming on when you're in practice. It's like, oh shit, here it comes. Oh man, I'm getting ready to take this one personal. What am I going to do? I'm diving in, I'm doing it, I'm taking it personal. I'm going to text them back and tell them, oh, screw you too, buddy. The last text that I got that the old pops would have taken personal, what do you think I did with it? The last text that I got, the old pops would have, man, I'm diving in, you're getting my blast. What do you think I did with that text? Because I felt that, oh, I'm getting ready to write this. I'm getting ready. I didn't delete it, Sarah. I left it there. I ignored it. I ignored it. That was kind of hard to do sometimes, man. And if I erased it, that's a different kind of ignore. That's almost like, oh, F you, delete. Mine are like, I'll leave it right there. And it's there, whatever, they wrote it. Deleting for me kind of, there's a little bit of anger or something in that. For me, it's just easier. I just ignore it. I also don't mind that it's still there because I am now self-love because I successfully ignored that crap. I had successfully ignored it. I didn't hit send. I got a little pat on the back for that. I get a little pat on the back from myself. See, you can do this. See, yeah, Jakob, test passed. And I didn't delete it. I didn't throw the test away. I passed that test. And when you start practicing not taking things personal, your self-respect, your self-image grows so fast. Also, your compassion. Because you understand that whatever was said that the old you would have taken personal, weren't you practicing? It wasn't because of you. Those weren't your less than impeccable words. They were from someone else. That person's probably hurting. That person might need a hospital. The second agreement, don't take anything personal. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personal. Using an earlier example, if I see you on the street and I say, hey, you're stupid, without knowing you, it's about me. If you take it personal, then perhaps you believe you're stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, how does he know? How did he know I was stupid? Is he clairvoyant? Is he able to do this with everybody? You take it personal because you agreed with what they said. It's the only way we can take something personal, is we agree. If we don't agree, you can do one of two things. I don't agree. or you can avoid and leave it alone. If you did the I don't agree, you have to start working on your, am I being impeccable with my words? You take it personal because you agree. As soon as you agree, the poison goes through you. You now own it. It's become part of you. Now you have to work on an agreement to get it out. Taking things personal, you literally swallowed a poison pill. You chose it. I'm going to go ahead and take this. I know this is bad for me, but I'm going to go ahead and take this poison pill, and I'm going to take it personal. The reason we do this is because we have this inflated sense of personal importance. Don't you know who I am? If you knew who I was, you wouldn't do that to me. We have inflated opinions of ourselves, levels of personal importance. The more humble you are, the less you take things personal. Personal importance, or taking things personal, is the maximum expression of selfishness. When you're taking something personal, you're literally rolling in selfishness. It's all about you. Poor you, usually. Rolling in selfishness. Every time I'm getting ready to take something personal now, I remember that. I'd rather be known as the guy that didn't reply. He didn't reply when I called him an asshole. He didn't? Well, that's terrible of him. Start gossip with that one. He didn't reply. He didn't jump in when I tried to bait him into taking it personal, and he didn't swallow the poison. I got somebody mad at me right now because I'm not replying. Think of what you're writing to me. Why would I? There's nothing in here that's worth a reply. It's all attacks. It's all telling me that I did it wrong. Tasty poison, enormous. Personal importance. I struggle with that here. Between you and me, I don't want to be the big shot show guy. I don't, I promise. It just happens to be I'm the guy that has the, I do want to teach though. I know that. It's because it's in my spirit. It's like some people want to paint. Some people want to hike. Some people want to dive. Some people, they have things. That's what they have to do for their inner nature. But I don't need to be important. I used to. I used to lie and act like something I wasn't so I could be important. I look back at that person and I gag. I gag at myself. I'm glad I went through it because I get to see a different side now. Personal importance. You know those people. You know those people. It's a maximum expression of selfishness because we assume that everything's about me. During the period of our education or our domestication, we learned to take everything personal. It's what we learned. We think we're responsible for everything. Me, and always me. Nothing other people do is because of you. These are big words we're using here. We're using, don't take anything personal. And we're hearing, nothing. Those are two big categories. Don't take anything personal, and nothing other people do is because of you. It can't be. Well, I think I caused it. It's impossible. Unless you literally are a robot, you're running the robot inside them. You got a little remote control and you can, other than that, it's impossible. You might know the triggers. You might know exactly how to set your wife off, but she has to choose to dive in, to take it personal. You have to choose to take it personal when you're attacked. You're not attacked. Somebody had an opinion. It's simple, just don't agree to it. Move on. We weren't taught that. We have leaders in every politician out there. If you're attacked, attack back. That's what they're teaching our society. They hit you, you hit them back harder. I was taught that. I remember having to go to school and beat up one of my friends because my dad said I didn't do it good enough. Go beat him up better. Oh, you talk about domestication. You talk about the way we're domesticated. That is our domestication. We were taught to take everything personal. It's all about you. Everybody lives in their own dream. Everybody lives in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world than the one we live in, the one I live in. As much as I love Penny and I'm like, oh man, we get along great, she lives in her own world. I have to make sure that when I'm teasing her, I'm not hurting her feelings and making fun of her. She has to understand that's coming from a place of goodness and love. And we're just having a ball. We're going to entertain here. And she does. Not taking it personal. We can turn it into something wonderful when we don't take it personal. We have that power. We could take it either way. Can you imagine if after I showed that tape this morning, Penny took it personal? We'd lose Penny. The whole group would lose Penny because of Pops. It wouldn't have been because of me. It would be because Penny took it personal. Nothing other people do is because of you. It's because of themselves. All people live in their own dream and in their own mind. They are in a completely different world than the one I live in. When we take something personal, we make the assumption that they know what is in our world. And then we try to impose our world on their world. That's taking something personal. One more paragraph, we'll be done for today. I've had some great guests here this morning. Thank you for being here, everybody that's new. And you guys are doing a great job with your comments back and forth here. I'm sincerely glad to see you guys all here this morning. Even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly. That girl I told you about, the person I told you about three years ago or so, tried to tear down my my practice. through gossip, insulting me directly, with the intent later on find out, oh, she's starting her own page and wanted her own business, stealing trying to steal biz, and it just dirty stuff. Time to take that personal. And I'll tell you what, exception was there with me. I took it personal for 1 week, that one. I rolled in it for a week. A week. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going back. They don't deserve me. I can't believe they're telling stories about me like this. Feeling sorry for myself. I mean, I couldn't have been. It was one of the most miserable 4 or 5 day streak in my whole entire life, ever. Because my intentions were so pure. They were. But I didn't know the second agreement at that time. I didn't know it. So I took it personal because I didn't know any other way. Now I look at it and go, you know how easy it was to flow past that one? Come on. I consider the source. I feel sorry for the source. I'm compassionate for the source. I'm spread love to the source and move on. Trees don't like water off a duck's back. Seriously, and that was a big one. And if that one's not taking me down, nothing's going to take me down, especially if I'm practicing my agreements. Even when a situation seems so personal, they're destroying you. They're telling the most outrageous, outlandish, vile lies about you. Vile. It has nothing to do with you. Practice that one. Exception. She really was. I'm honestly. And then later on, exceptions hung in there like a big dog. She's something else. She's my bro. And she was the one person, because she knew the other person personally. And she was sort of mediating and just like, she kept me from jumping. Not real jump, but jumping out of the biz. Jumping out of this. And a lot of it was envy, Michael. That's exactly what I want to be him. The person even named themselves their little screen name had the same name as mine. You haven't? Well, see, that's the difference, exception. I told myself that, and I told you. I'm just going to keep showing up every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Keep doing my thing, keep learning, keep move past that. And my continued application to being good will be my proof. That's all I've got, is continuing to be impeccable. That will be my proof, because I can't prove a negative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep driving forward, being as impeccable as I can. If somebody was really guilty of what I was charged with, they would have never kept moving forward. They would have shriveled and ran. That was the perfect time for a guilty party to shrivel and run. But when you're impeccable, you're wearing a cloak of immunity, you get up off the couch and you stop taking it personal and get back to work. Get back to work. You got people to help. What they say and what they do, the opinions they give, are according to agreements they have in their own minds. Agreements that they have in their own mind. This is their own thinking. It came from inside their own agreements. Combination of whatever their life was. It had nothing to do with you. You might just be the target that day. Who knows? Their point of view comes from all the programming that they received during their domestication. We know about that because we're fighting the domestication right now. So it'd be very easy to believe that someone out there that isn't working on the domestication and changing it is a victim to it. Right? It's very easy to believe that they could be as bad as it as I used to be. It's pretty easy to believe. You know what else is super easy to believe? That they can change. All of us can. I mean it. We do not have to live in the old agreements or in a matote or a fog. We don't have to take things personal. Work on that one today. Something's going to come up today. And you're going to get a little bit of a jingle. And that old agreement that, hey, what? Wait, you can't say that about me. Don't you know? Your self-importance will kick in. If you back up and say, you know what, I'm not that important. And you know what? I have no idea where this is coming from. But it's not about me. This is coming from there. And boy, I wish I could help. But even if I said that, it might not come across right. Let me just leave it alone. When you start practicing, do one today. At the end of today, I want you to pat yourself on the back and say, you did a good job. I can do that. I didn't have to take that one personal. The old me would have jumped. I would have dove right into that argument. Next thing you know, I'm sleeping on the couch. And they don't forget. So, work on that one. Power of your word. Secondly, don't take things personally. We'll continue to discuss the take things personally. There's a few more pages about that, a few examples. And Benny, thanks for not taking our jokes about you this morning personal. But of course I knew you would. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for helping me grow. Mushrooms grew me to where I was. And now you guys help grow me every single day. And then I still go over and I visit my mushrooms. And we're all growing together. There isn't a whole lot of going backwards around here. So have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. We will start discussing the first step of growing your own mushrooms. And we'll talk some more about other things. Have a great, great, great day. I love you guys. I'm going to miss you. And you know what? I started out this morning feeling pretty bad, like, oh, Brock might have to take over the show. Now I'm like all pumped. I'm ready to go. You guys gave me energy. I'm just left the gym. I'm ready to rock. Let's do this thing. I'm going to go find somebody and be kind to them. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to go find someone to be kind to. Okay? Besides you guys, Mike and Catzilla and E-Daddy and Mushmouth. There you are, Mushy. Pacers and Penny and Fred and Edward and HB and Nerdy, I love you. And Jesus Christ in Australia. And Free, there's my guy, Deborah. You know how much I love you. Billy D and City. Sid, say hi to Mom. Herbs and Trent, have a great day. Michael, onwards and upwards. Shanti, Sarah, stop freaking me out. Badge, get up, get out. Nippy, Joe D's, there you are. Shiny, Sarah Bear, I like me some Sarah Bear. Calico Kid, I love Callie. Sarah and Nippy and HB and Pace and Shiny shining on and Mr. Phillips and Herbie Von Werby, Kabop, Kabroken, Kaburb, Furby. It's been a long time since I used his whole name. Laura, have a divine day. Billy D, Joe D's, Mike Baraball, Penny the Pulverizer, 5280. Jimmy the Max. Jesus Christ. Nurs. I haven't seen my Nurs in a minute. B. Tree Stump. There's Tree. Jesus Christ. E. Enormous. Freddy the Hinks. Exception. My bro. Wazzy. Wazzy. Okay, knock it off, Pops. Pet, Mushmouth, Penny Pack, JC, Pacers, Enormous and Enormous, Pops, Peace, Love, each other, and practice the 4 agreements. Impeccable with your word. Don't take things personal. Don't have expectations. Do your best today.